The Rams have waived Nick Hampton from the 53-man roster. Once was a 2023 draft pick. He is now going to have to make it through 31 teams before he can come back onto the Rams practice squad. But who is going to replace him on the 53? That's a valuable spot for a team that's likely and widely regarded as the best team in football. And I believe that is room for Tutu Atwell. Before we get into that, though, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan and check out today's sponsor, Sleeper, because you can get 100% all the way up to $100 using my code JKB. So if you put in $100, you get a bonus match up to $100, meaning you would have $200 in your Sleeper account. So be sure to check out, get in on the action with Sleeper, use my link, and check out the link in the description as well as the code JKB. And on top of that, the $20 free entry that I continue to tell you guys about. If you haven't already, $20 free entry, no deposit required. Check it out all over on Sleeper. So Nick Hampton is being waived at age 25. He's played 193 snaps on defense for the Rams, including 70 of those this year alone. He just got to his career high 3 pressures in a season following last week's pressure against Arizona, and he's most known for his run defense off the edge. The 6'2", 235-pounder will likely be back in the building if he clears waivers, but this late in the season, teams deal with injury, and there's a very good chance that Nick Hampton will be claimed off waivers and not rejoin the Rams on the practice squad. Sean McVay did make it clear that Tutu Atwell wasn't activated yet because of the numbers, mainly the 48 on game day, but also the 53. This is the best roster in football, as I've said, so it's not easy to juggle all these talents on a 53, especially when you have guys returning off of IR. And the Rams still have 2 others after Tutu Atwell in Rob Havenstein and, of course, Tyler Higbee. And that's not to mention Quentin Lake later on towards the playoffs. Because the Rams are widely considered the best team in the league, just based on that alone, a player with another year left on his deal in Hampton will most likely be claimed, but no one should be shocked if an NFC West rival is the team that claims him, whether that's the Seahawks or the 49ers. They both could use a player like this. Now, Hampton has shown strides since being drafted in the 5th round out of App State in 2023, but he was a bit of a tweener. You know, he was going to be an edge defender. He was going to be an inside backer. It really depended on who drafted him. The Rams liked him at edge, so they kept him there. He's a really good athlete. He's played his career at edge so far in the NFL. The hope is he'll be back. Now, understand this. I'm not at all saying that Nick Hampton is the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's definitely not. And there is a chance that, well, let's be honest here, there are better players on this roster than he is. And honestly, that's a really good chance. Desjuan Johnson, who he was an interior defensive lineman, and now they have moved him over to edge, and we saw 6 pressures against the Arizona Cardinals. Don't make any mistake about it. I believe that has a lot to do with this decision. They saw a player that, not that Hampton was bad, but they saw that Hampton never really made the most out of his opportunities. A solid player, you know, when needed. He had some good reps, but nothing like what we saw on Sunday from Desjuan Johnson, who made a statement against the Arizona Cardinals. 6 pressures, folks. He's been in a healthy scratch most weeks. Pretty incredible stuff there. Not to mention what he's done in the playoffs. He's had sacks in the playoffs. He's made plays. And so Desjuan Johnson is getting a promotion here. I believe there's more to it than just Tutu Atwell's, spot is coming back. But again, why would the Rams free up a roster spot? I believe this is for Tutu Atwell. I don't think this is for anybody else. I think this is for Tutu Atwell. I do hope Hampton's back in the practice squad. I'd like him to stay in the building. He still has another year left. But, I think when it comes to Tutu Atwell, he needs to be activated pronto, or the Rams are going to miss their window, and, he's going to be done for the season. And that, to me, is just not realistic. It's not conducive to winning football. And so no matter how good Xavier Smith has looked, I do anticipate that Tutu Atwell will be back on the Rams 53-man roster probably tomorrow. I would imagine they'll announce that move. The Rams also cut Nick Muse, the tight end for the practice squad. For me, this is one of 2 things. First off, it's definitely, basically a thumbs up to the job that Nick Vannett did. So Nick Vannett, he has a roster spot. They like him. The second thing is that this is anticipatory, in my opinion, and this is anticipatory based on the placement of Nick Hampton. If he clears waivers, he'll be back. There's his spot. If he doesn't, then they'll figure it out. There's plenty of talents out there that you can find and throw on the practice squad, or you can bring back Nick Muse if you wanted to. But the point stands. That is going to likely be available for him if he clears waivers. I don't believe he will, because I think the Rams, being the best team in the league, it just takes some bottom feeder team to be like, yeah, we could use Nick Hampton. He just got cut from the best team in the league, so he'd probably be good enough to play on the 2-10 Raiders, right? So it's just stuff like that. But with the Lions this weekend, a must-win game against a secondary that's really feeling the injury bug, whether it's, Brian Branch or, he's out for the season, or, you look at Terrion Arnold and, of course, Kirby Joseph, they're dealing with injuries. And so adding back your deep threat option in Tutu Atwell for this game just seems like the most logical time to bring him back. So those are my thoughts. That's everything that happened. The Rams, in my opinion, they got better on Sunday because Desjuan Johnson exploded. And I don't think that was just a fluke. Desjuan Johnson has been building up to this point. He needs to be talked about more. He's not getting enough love, especially not after the performance he had against the Cardinals. And I think the big thing here is that he was drafted as an interior defensive lineman, and he was drafted late. Keep in mind, he was Mr. Irrelevant. So because he was Mr. Irrelevant, a lot of people forgot about him. Then he's a healthy scratch, and really the only time you think about him is during preseason. Well, now he's playing a different position, and his get-off is good enough to really make him thrive there. So I'm impressed with what I've seen from him. I'm really impressed with this roster makeup. I think overall the Rams just have everything that they need. All the nooks and crannies are certainly filled the moment you add Tutu Atwell back on the 53. And this is just going to be one tough team to beat. It doesn't matter what you think about the Carolina game. They were due to lose a game, winning 6 straight. They were going for the longest win streak in Sean McVay's career. But at the same time, now they can start a new one. And they just need to win 4 straight to secure, first off, the number 1 seed. Second, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And third, a path to the Super Bowl that only requires 2 wins. Pretty incredible stuff. And the Rams can absolutely do it. It starts this weekend against the Lions. Be sure to wear blue if you go to SoFi Stadium. I will be there. The reason being, royal blue. The reason being is they're going to rock royal blue. So you want to make SoFi look packed to the brim. You want to give it that home field advantage. Wear royal blue at SoFi Stadium. But that is going to do it for me. That's my update. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll have another video kind of breaking down to a degree, breaking down the run game with Blake Corum, Kyron Williams, and this incredible offensive line that isn't getting talked about nearly enough after this video. So you guys take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks.